So I opened up 22 in my first 9 months. We have a property that does $3,500 a night and it's booked out for the next 2 years. If you have a place that has you're going to be able to outperform everybody.
So what are your secrets?
You got to have...
What it is, Brad Lea back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio, folks. As always, I got a real treat for you. John Alexander's in the house. Welcome to the show, buddy.
You can call me JD.
JD. Now, this guy, born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, he is the CEO of Traverse, a fast-growing Airbnb property management company. Under your leadership, my friend, Traverse is now international, managing over 350 units and growing in 5 different countries.
We're in Ghana, Africa, of all places. We got a unit in Ghana. Yeah.
Who goes there?
Not me, but some people do.
There's a place out there in Ghana, I think it's called Rhea.
Don't laugh.
But now you're in Miami, Florida, moved from Nashville. How you like Miami?
I love Miami.
So, dude, speaking with you earlier, you got a lot of businesses. This is just one of them, it sounds like. Why Traverse? Why Airbnb management?
So I got into it because I wanted to get into an Airbnb years ago, and then I started a bunch, and then it just, to be able to scale it, I realized you could really scale a management company. There's a lot of, everybody's starting Airbnb. There's millions of them in America. And I just seen a big opportunity in it. There's a massive opportunity in it.
And so you just started advertising? Hey, let me manage yours?
Yeah. So I opened up 22 in my first 9 months. I bought one, sold it, used all that money to do rental arbitrage. I opened those up in 9 months, and I bought a couple after that. And then after this, people were asking, because I would just post on social media, can you help me? Can you manage this for me? And then I started running ads, and that's when everybody started reaching out, and we got to get where we're at now.
So why do they want them managed so they don't have to dick with it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Are they trying to avoid, because managing doesn't mean cleaning them. You're not cleaning them. You're managing the cleaners going over there.
Yeah.
What about like the towels and the shit? What if how does that work?
So if we're doing full management, we handle all that. So if we need more towels, we need more sheets, we need more whatever, we'll order it from Amazon, get it shipped. But what we're mostly doing is what most people want to call co-hosting, but you're a glorified marketer at the end of the day. We have software.
You're getting them booked.
Yeah, we're bringing the bookings. Yeah. Which that's what everybody wants at the end of the day.
Yeah,
anyways.
I mean, dude, you can have anyone clean them.
Yeah.
So you're a booking agent.
Pretty
almost.
much. Yeah. Because most people are only listed on Airbnb, maybe VRBO, and that's it. So we have software that puts us on 7 different channels, and people pay us to list them all over the place and just increase the revenue. So, I mean, it's pretty common sense. You get seen by more people, you'll get more bookings, right?
Well, that's probably why you're fast growing.
Oh, yeah.
People want to book their shit quick. So what are your secrets? What are your techniques? Just listing it with your software in more places?
No, I mean, you got to have good photos. I can't stress that enough. Most people have iPhone photos, and they'll want to charge $400 a night, but won't spend $300 on a photographer to come out. So we get professional photos, we get the pricing in line, we have pricing software, make sure they're not overpriced, not underpriced, for capitalizing when we can. Monitoring reviews, that's a big thing, making sure your reviews are 4.8, 4.9 or higher. So I mean, it's really those things right there, and then listing it on all sites for sure.
How big of an impact do reviews have?
It's everything. If you have bad reviews, nobody's coming to your spot, right?
Is that right?
I mean, you wouldn't book an Airbnb that had a 4.5 review where it said they had bed bugs and shit in the front yard.
Well, that doesn't sound like a 4.5. That sounds like a 1.5.
Yeah. Well,
4.5 sounds pretty decent.
Not in the Airbnb world.
And not only that, like in my mind, there's always some sort of dickhead that's going to stay there and give you a shitty review just because they're dickheads.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to factor that in.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Do you stay at Airbnbs?
Here and there.
Yeah. What was the last one you stayed in?
Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg? Did you leave them a 5-star review?
I didn't leave them a review.
Why not?
They didn't really ask, did they?
I don't know.
I don't know if they did or didn't, but I know that I didn't.
Would you have left a 5-star?
Maybe. No, I mean, yeah, for like if I left a review, it would have been a good one.
Yeah.
5 stars. Is that the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have left the best. Yeah, because it was number one, the facility was great. Number two, they had like games and they had everything. Although
you hear the games? You see the games? I see games all the time. That's a huge thing, right? So you have kids, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably why you got it. So well, that's not the only reason. I'm sure you like to play the games.
I like high-end properties.
Right.
So
what's high end in your mind?
2,000-3,000 a night.
So it's just a price?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to look. I mean, it can be 10 grand a night, and I'm not renting it just because it's 10 grand. But the way it looked, they had really good pictures. Number one. Number two, it had its own swimming pool. This was like a unique property. But we were looking for property in Gatlinburg, and this one came up, and it was really nice, like almost like a cabin looking feel, but nicely appointed. It was just a nice looking thing, but it had, bunk beds, and it had a swimming pool, and it had, a deck with these, the lights that they put out, all the whole string of lights.
Yeah.
And my wife just like, oh, this looks so pretty. So we got it. But when we got there, man, we were surprisingly impressed. It was nice, and it was, clean, but it was new. So, I mean, I don't know why I would expect it to be dirty, but it was like new and nice, and it had games, all the different games, Monopoly and, Sorry, and all the games that were there. It had, hot chocolate and shit out for where the coffee thing was, but they only had 2 things of coffee, which I didn't like.
What, 2
K-cups?
Oh,
Yeah, like someone forgot to put them in, or they were out.
Ew.
Now, see, again, I'm not a dick, or otherwise I could have bombed them for that.
And people do. That's the thing.
People do. For
do.
K-cups.
Yeah.
Stupidity.
Did you see any bears while you're there?
No.
Oh. Why? So you went? Why'd y'all go to Gatlinburg?
Dollywood.
Y'all flew from here to go to Dollywood?
No, we live in Nashville sometimes.
Oh yeah.
We have a house there. So we were just there. And the Dollywood amusement park is like cool. The best roller coasters in the country, I think. You been on them?
You raise your hands when you go down?
I don't.
No.
Do you ride roller coasters?
I haven't in years.
Yeah, these are some fast ones. I mean, they scare human adults.
The wooden roller coasters are the wild ones. I don't know how y'all did that back in the 70s and 80s.
When you say y'all, you mean us old folks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a wooden one at Dollywood.
Is there?
Yeah.
It beats you up, man.
It does beat you up. It's a little bit like, you would think it falls apart, but
yeah. And
it rumbles when you're sitting there waiting to get on it. But Dollywood has killer parks. So we were going up there for the kids, rented that little thing, and I almost bought one because like, I can't imagine like that place is freaking sweet. So that's what I was wondering. But you're managing. I thought you were investing in them when I first read this, like you were buying them.
Well, I am, but I haven't in a while.
Yeah, because you're finding managing them is just as easy.
If you are an investor, the best person to talk to is a management company. I mean, because we have, again, ours are all over the world, right? I'm not just in one market. Like I have a close friend that owns a massive management company in Gatlinburg. They have lots of units, really nice ones. And, but you're not going to ask him like, he's going to tell you go to Gatlinburg to start a unit. But like somebody like me that has all over the country, like you want to talk to somebody like me because I would tell you go to Naples, New York, the Finger Lakes. You ever been to Finger Lakes? Oh, that's a great market to be in. We have a property there that does $3,500 a night and is booked out for the next 2 years. Summertime for sure, or summertime is booked out, not 100%, year round, but that's a great market.
What are the Finger Lakes?
It's just a shit ton of lakes in upstate New York, close to the Canadian border. Yeah.
Didn't even know about them.
Yeah, it's a huge tourist spot in the summertime.
And they're booked out for 2 years straight? Yeah,
but she has a big place though. I mean, she has a 7-bedroom house on top of a huge hill overlooking everything, pool. But again, I haven't heard of a place in Gatlinburg that's doing $3,500 a night booked out for 2 years. There could be one there. I just don't know of one.
Well, there's a lot more people in New York.
Yeah, in the New York area, for sure. Yeah.
That probably helps.
Yeah.
Now that I'm talking to you, like I want to book an Airbnb in Coeur d'Alene for 4th of July.
Idaho?
Yeah, but I'll bet you it's all booked out because I forgot. So like I don't mind going a year out. How many people think a year in advance?
Well, the beach towns, everybody does because that's where they go, right? Myrtle Beach.
You got anything
South
in Coeur d'Alene?
Beach. I don't know. I can find you something though.
So for the people listening, if they own Airbnbs, they should reach out to you because you'll get them more bookings than they will by themselves.
Yes. So they just have one Airbnb, or it doesn't matter how many they have. We can put them on a lot of different booking channels, and we're not their management company. We can basically just bring people to them, pick and choose what bookings they want to accept, which ones they don't. It's all up to them. Or we can, take over and do everything for them so they don't have to screw with it.
To where you decide whether they accept it or not?
Yeah.
How do you look at people and whether they're accepted?
I don't really. I mean, if they pay the price that we have, we just auto accept it.
Yeah, because I've never really been, checked out. I don't think anyone's ran my credit or anything.
No.
So how do they know whether someone's bookable or not?
Well, there's a lot of people that they'll ask questions about the person that's coming, why you coming, who you coming with, which is
that so people don't destroy your property with parties or something?
Yeah. And it's usually in high regulated cities. If they have a permit and where the permit can get revoked if they get, whatever, the cops called or whatever. So I understand why. Where my properties are at, I mean, my permits can't get, well, at least knock on wood, I don't think they can get pulled, but as long as they're paying the premium price, I don't care what they do.
Are you looking for high-end properties or just any old property?
To manage or to...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to manage, if we're going to manage and do everything, it's got to be high end. If you want us to bring you bookings, we'll take anybody to bring you bookings. Yeah.
When you say manage and book, what's the difference?
Well, manage, we will do cleanings, profit and loss statements, maintenance, everything. That's true management. We'll do that from top to bottom. You don't lift a finger. We just send you a check every month. The bookings, we will list your property on all the sites that you're not on. When the stuff comes in, when the booking request comes in, we'll send it to you, let you look at it, how many people, what the payout is, see if you have the availability, and then you just tell us yes or no.
Why don't people do that themselves?
Do what? List it on all
Everything
the other
you
sites?
just said, yeah.
Well, most people just think Airbnb is the only channel, or it's doing good enough. There's no point to go figure out how to list on booking.com or Marriott hotels. And you got to balance all the calendars too. So if you have 4 different channels and you're not using the software where it automatically blocks the calendars on each one, it's a bit of a nightmare to go and update your prices on 4 different logins, block the calendars, make sure it's all in sync, right?
I didn't even know you could book Airbnbs on other things.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't be Airbnbs then.
I mean, they're all short-term rentals, but Airbnb is...
Yeah, but I didn't know that. Like when I'm thinking of short-term rentals, I think of Airbnb.
Really? Yeah.
Or VRBO.
Well, VRBO was around before Airbnb.
Yeah, VRBO, I think, is where I look first.
Is it? Yeah.
Why Airbnb? Do they have more inventory?
I would imagine. I mean, there's just the more popular brand.
Is there a like a kayak version yet where one searches them all and comes up with the best deal?
No, I don't think so.
Why don't you invent that?
I could. I should.
That's just software.
You're the software guy, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to program it, all it does is just reach out to all of them and integrate it into one interface to where instead of going from here to here to here to here to here, you go here and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Does that exist?
As far as I know, no, there's not.
See, we should ask ChatGPT.
Write that down, Victoria.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the thing that makes you a billionaire.
Yeah.
So what is your goal with this?
Well, how hard is that to do?
What?
What you just said, like a kayak. How hard is that to create?
Not hard.
Uh-huh.
Believe it or not, ChatGPT can now code.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people coding shit that used to take a year and a day. It just tells ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can write code.
What's another? I mean, ChatGPT is the most well known, right? What's another ChatGPT that you should use?
Grok.
Grok. That's through
Ask ROI.
Ask ROI. What's the difference?
There's also one called Claw. Usually just the language model that they're using, like some are better for reading financials than some are better for copywriting, and some are better for writing books, or whatever you're using it for. But if you ask me, I just go to ChatGPT. Why? Because that's the first one I heard about.
What about if you want to make a picture? Like, hey, make a picture of this and this. What do you got to do that?
Yeah. Again, ChatGPT.
It'll make a picture for you?
Sure.
I didn't know that.
But there's better ones. So like, again, some are focused on better ones than others.
Yeah.
So if I say, for example, let's go to chat and say, what do you want a picture of?
Let's go picture of Donald Trump riding a unicycle wearing a sailor hat.
Okay. Hey, ChatGPT, create me an image of Donald Trump riding a unicycle wearing a sailor's hat.
I can't create an image of a specific public figure like Donald Trump in that scenario. Is there something else I can help you with?
Say Brad Lea. It might hurt your feelings.
Well, I'm a public figure.
Let's see if she does. Let's see if she says.
Okay, ChatGPT, create an image of me riding a unicycle with a sailor's hat. Brad Lea.
I can't create images of specific individuals like Brad Lea either. If you'd like a general creative idea or something else fun, let me know.
Hey, ChatGPT, who is Brad Lea?
Brad Lea is a well-known entrepreneur, sales trainer, author, and speaker. He's the founder and CEO of Lightspeed VT, a virtual training platform designed to help businesses scale their training efforts. He's also known for his podcast, Dropping Bombs, where he shares insights on business, sales, mindset, and personal development.
Thank you. Is he the coolest of all the podcasters?
You're welcome. Brad Lea definitely has a unique style and a confident, no-nonsense approach that resonates with a lot of listeners. Whether he's the coolest depends on personal preference, but he's definitely made a big impact in the podcasting world. Are you a fan of his show?
Can you create me an image of somebody riding a unicycle with a sailor's hat?
I can't generate images directly, but if you have an AI image generation tool or app, you could try describing that exact scene to it. Let me know if you'd like tips on how to phrase the prompt.
Well, you created me an image just the other day. Why can't you create images all of a sudden?
I don't have the ability to generate images directly. If you used another tool for that, I can help you create a prompt to describe what you want in detail.
I wonder what I was using. All right, thanks. Thanks anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think ChatGPT did the images.
I was using it. I thought I was just the other day where I had it create images. I have to figure out what I was using.
Because you can do, there are video ones too, right? There are ones that will make videos for you.
Well, dude, there's some shit coming out that'll blow your mind.
How do you use ChatGPT with everything?
I just use it as a Google. Like I don't Google anymore. I chat GPT.
Yeah. How do you, what are you using in your business with AI?
Well, we leveraged AI into the training system to where now once you're trained, now it's going to let you role play and practice with AI generated customers with, all the objections that you hear or you're going to hear. So you can practice on AI.
Like a real person in front of you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So like I'll teach you how to close a deal and then I'll say, okay, let's see you close this customer. And you talk to it, it records you, and it determines whether or not you're using the shit I was just teaching you. So if you didn't understand what I taught you, you wouldn't be able to close this unless you understood my word tracks, my philosophies, what are the objectives here? Like I always talk about closing a deal, you have to identify and isolate the objection. So it'll see if you do that. And then what do you do after that? And it's listening, and it's like a real customer. So whatever you say, it'll respond to.
Does it pick up on voice inflections, or is it just like hearing what you're saying?
No, it could. It depends on how you train it.
Yeah.
It could listen to whether or not your tonality is correct. They're even doing it where now it's looking at your eyes and whether you're looking at the camera or not. There's things that are tracking whether or not people are like nervous or confident or whatever.
Really?
Dude, AI is baby and it's coming fast. And I'm telling you, you better get with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they don't mess with it very much. I would be on it every single day talking to it.
Is it just a voice on the platform, or is it like an actual picture when you're talking about the role play? Is it an actual picture of somebody role playing with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, ChatGPT, listen, my name's John Alexander. I own Traverse, which is a property management company for Airbnbs and short-term rentals. I'm trying to scale my business. What suggestions would you have?
Hey, John, to scale Traverse, start by connecting with local real estate agents, investors, and landlords. Building strong partnerships can help you gain more properties to manage. 2, leverage technology. Use property management software to automate tasks, streamline communication, and manage bookings efficiently. 3, market your services. Develop a strong online presence, use social media marketing, and gather testimonials to attract new clients. 4, diversify your offerings. Consider adding premium services like interior design consultations, guest concierge, or revenue optimization. Would you like more details on any of these?
No, I want you to tell me, how do I find all the Airbnb property owners to pitch them my management services?
Got it. Finding Airbnb property owners to pitch your services involves a few steps. First, scrape listings and data. While Airbnb doesn't provide owner contact info directly, you can manually look at listings in your target area. Identify hosts with multiple listings. They're more likely to need management. 2, use third-party data services. Platforms like AirDNA or Mashvisor provide insights into rental markets, including data on hosts and properties. 3, public records and tax info. Check property tax records or county assessor websites for ownership details. 4, networking and partnerships. Attend local real estate events, join investor groups, or collaborate with realtors to find potential clients. 5, targeted ads. Run ads like platforms like Facebook and Instagram targeting Airbnb hosts in specific locations. Need help with any specific approach?
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm trying to figure out how to do it with no real effort. I want to blow up my business and grow it and scale it, but without having to do anything. What would you suggest?
Growing a business without significant effort is tough, but there are ways to streamline the process. 1, delegate and...
Keep going.
So, hire a team or virtual assistants to handle tasks like marketing, client outreach, and property management. 2, automate systems. Use software to automate booking management, guest communication, and payments. Tools like Guesty or Hasteaway can save you tons of time. 3, partnerships with real estate agents or offer referral incentives to get more clients. 4, content marketing.
That's social media. So she keeps talking about real estate agents. Do you have a big network of realtors?
I don't.
That's a pretty good idea though, because realtors deal with investors.
Yeah.
So if you start tapping into realtors and they have investors have properties need managed.
Yeah.
Usually the investors are the one that wants managed properties.
Well, we're all over the world. So like when we run ads, I mean, we literally get people from everywhere.
What does your ad say?
What does they say? I mean, it's a mixture of stuff. So the most recent one was me saying I can make your Airbnb more money in 30 days or you don't pay. And then we did some retargeting stuff with, again, me, talking about, I can't remember, to be honest. I don't know.
So if someone's listening to this right now and they have Airbnb properties, where do they reach out to you?
You send me an email or go to my Instagram page, send me a DM. My team will respond. JD Alexander 1, I think it is. Or my email, it's info@travelwithtraverse.com. Travelwithtraverse.com.
So what's the hardest part that you have to deal with that like saves these property owners brain damage that you take over for them?
For the full management, it's just dealing with the clients. I mean, people, like you just said, are complaining about small things. So it's just handling the small day-to-day stuff on the full management. For the, on the other side where the bringing the bookings to them, it's just giving them more opportunities for reservations, really.
Well, that's what I'd be interested in if I were an Airbnb owner.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get me more bookings? Is it just you list it more places?
Yeah, we do that. We get professional photos. Most people they don't have the nice photos, right? They just have iPhone photos and they say, oh, it's good enough. I don't want to spend the extra $300 for whatever reason. I don't get it. But we'll do professional photos. We'll optimize the listings, make sure the photos in right orders, put all the right things on there, make it stand out, which is the biggest thing. Just want to stand out, right? Because there's so much competition.
Do you ever think the titles mean anything?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You gotta have the right titles. It's gotta just stand out to people. The title needs to say what you have that's a little different than everybody else. So 4 bedrooms, fenced yard, downtown, or something along those lines. If you have that, or you could say private pool or hot tub or something like that. Stuff that you have that other people don't, but most people don't do that.
So what were you doing before you bought your first rental property?
I was so I did insurance. I was in insurance sales. I built a book of business did that for 5 years.
What kind of insurance?
Voluntary benefits, supplemental insurance. Are you familiar with it?
And shit.
Yeah, similar to Aflac. Yeah. So I was a broker. I had contracts through all the different carriers.
Why'd you stop doing that?
I was tired of that shit, man.
Why?
It's insurance sales. That stuff's tough. Not tough. It's just I was just done with it. So the week that COVID happened, I had my largest account was about to close. It took 2 years. It was a massive car dealership in Illinois. And then we had everything, had the paperwork signed, had the enrollment set up. And then I was getting set to fly up there. COVID happened. The GM called me. He's like, hey, we gotta reconvene. We gotta reschedule this. So I had to lay everybody off. And I was like, all right, this is my sign. I'm done with this shit. So I had my.
So you gave up.
Yeah. Well, I was 1% of insurance sales in supplemental insurance before I stopped. I mean, I was doing really well with it. I had probably 120 businesses.
Well, it's back now, isn't it?
Yeah. So once that happened, my brother-in-law, right during COVID, he wanted to get into cars, which I flipped cars all through college, motorcycles, everything. So I knew how to do that to an extent. Then we got our auction license. We went to auctions. We were flipping cars all over. I was living in Nashville at that time, and we were flying, or I'd fly to Tampa or Miami, buy some cars, buy some boats, ship them back, and we were doing our thing. And it got to a point where we just had too many cars. We had 20 cars between his house and my apartment. And we were forced to open up a dealership. And I was like, look, if you want to do this, I'll help fund it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be in the used car business. And he did. I mean, he ran with it, quit his job, been doing it full time, and they're doing well with it.
Do you get into classics?
No. Mm-hmm.
Just regular old cars.
Yeah. Anything from $5 to $20,000. Yeah.
Do you have a buy here, pay here?
We do some, yeah. It's not something that we really want to do, because that's dealing with people and making sure they make their payments and insurance and all that. It's a pain in the ass.
So every day, all day, you're focused on Traverse.
Yeah, that's all I do.
You're just trying to grow that bitch up. What happens when it grows? What are you trying to do with it?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe sell it off. Maybe have somebody run it and go start something else. I don't know.
You don't have an exit strategy?
No, not yet. What should I do?
I would be interested in selling it.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, dude, there's no reason to start a business unless you're going to try and sell it.
Why haven't you sold yours?
Well, because I was a dumbass for 24 years. But come back in another 3 to 5 and ask me that again.
You going to sell?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm scaling it right now. Like I didn't know what I should have known for a long time. And I didn't even know until recently, like how they evaluate my business. I figured I'm going to wait until it's worth a lot. Well,
ChatGPT.
Yeah. And it's worth a nice little chunk of change now. And that made me realize like, holy crap. Well, if that's all I got to do, I can grow that. Like I was trying to grow profitability.
Yeah.
To like a big number. I mean, it's bigger than most people think, but I mean, like to me, I deal with all my rich buddies and like, this is like a little baby. So I realized that I can grow the ARR over the next 2 or 3 years and probably get 5 times that number. And what else can I do that'll make hundreds of millions of dollars in the next 3 to 5 years? I could probably dick around and end up striking gold, but This one's already established, 24-year-old company, the best technology on planet Earth. And all I have to do is raise the ARR.
Yeah. Who comes in and buys you? What type of company is coming to buy you?
Could be one of a bunch. Could be one of my clients.
Yeah.
Could be colleges. Could be a media. Because again, I mean, more than likely it's just going to be venture capital.
So how do you start finding, like, how do you put it out there that you want to sell?
You just hire a broker or, a banker.
Yeah.
Get the word out there. There's also places where you could sell. I mean, you could list and people start sending you LOIs.
What do the bankers do? They just like list it for sale, like on a site? Is that all they do?
One of the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also like venture capital. Venture capital is all about buying companies with revenue so they can put like 10 together and now they've got a big company. Because smaller companies, the multiple's not there. So like a company doing $1 million a year, it's not worth what a company's doing 10 million. So the multiple on $1 million company might be, let's say, 3 times. So if you have a company doing $1 million a year net, it would be, let's say, worth $3 million. But if I put you and 5 companies like you together, well, now I have one company doing 5 million. So that's rolling up companies.
Yeah.
And now it's doing 5 million. Well, if it's doing 5 million, it might be worth 4 to 6 times earnings. Right? Now, if it's doing 50 million, it might be worth 8 to 12 times earnings. So venture capital goes in and buys companies and then basically rolls them up into bigger companies or a portfolio that, like, I already have 12 companies that I'm going to use that software for. And so when they buy the company, the value of the software doubles because I put it in all these big accounts. So now I could pay, let's say, 50 million for a company that I can deploy into my portfolio and make it worth 100 million.
Right. So what are you going to do when you sell? Go start something else, or are you just done?
Well, I'm always going to mess around, but pretty much just go live.
Yeah. Going back to Gatlinburg.
That and Italy and everywhere.
Let's Airbnb your Brentwood house, huh?
I've considered it, but I don't like people in my home.
You won't even know they're there, man. We'll get the best cleaners in all of Tennessee over there.
And I'm in a neighborhood. Like, you think people would be wanting to be there? No.
Shake your head. Come on. What are you doing over there?
I mean, but it's like, it's not near town. Like, it's in a neighborhood, dude. Like, it's like a residential neighborhood.
How many square feet is it?
I don't know. I'd have to ask.
I'm sure it's snowing you. It's probably 5,000 plus?
At least. Yeah.
Yeah. So something like that, you could do, you could do events there. So you could put it on Peerspace and let somebody rent it out to do a photo shoot.
I'm gonna ask my wife how many square feet it is. Well, that would be a little bit crazy if you ask me. What if they screw it up? Who pays for it?
The insurances. You get insurance on every person that comes in. It'll cover up for $1 million. $1 million for damages and liability.
Is that right?
Well, if you do it through the platforms, yes. But then we have insurance companies that we use for all of our direct stuff that'll cover it.
So I can let someone throw a party in my house, and if they damage anything, the insurance company just pays me?
Mm-hmm.
No, that can't be real.
Yeah. You got to pay for the insurance, obviously. Yeah.
Well, how much is it?
So it just depends. If it's an overnight stay, let's see, we use, AmeriGeneral or something like that. It's like $150 or something.
Well, how does that work? Like one problem, they're out of business.
I guess they know the numbers. I don't know. I don't ask questions. I just have the insurance policies. They pay out. I mean, there hasn't been any issues.
Well, I would have to look into that, but if that's the case, maybe I would.
Well, if it's a direct, all you do is just take your precautions. You get deposits, you get IDs, you get, everything from whoever's renting it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that easy.
No, you can do that. Yeah.
Well, you could do it.
Yeah.
How much do I got to pay you to do all that for me?
I'll do it for 15%, Brad. That's a friendly discount.
So if I say I want $1,000 a night, I pay you $150, and you include all the insurance and everything.
Yeah, because I'm going to make the person pay for the insurances.
So if someone goes over there and like fucks up my couch with a wine stain, you're fixing it.
The insurance is going to fix it.
I don't see how they would do that. Like, dude,
they do it. I don't know what to tell you. They do it. I don't know.
I don't understand. Like, dude, why wouldn't everybody Airbnb then?
People are particular about their properties. What do
you mean? Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, most people.
I don't want weirdos in my house and ruining my shit.
Well, they're going to have weirdos in your house and they're going to ruin your shit.
Well, that's why I don't want weirdos. It's because I don't want my house destroyed.
You know, I'll give you the best.
But if I could show up and be like, oh, there's this and this and this and this, and insurance just, it can't be that easy. Because if it was, dude, I would Airbnb it.
Well, you got to have somebody like me with their boots on the ground that's going to make sure it gets done and fixed and replaced.
Well, again, dude, you're selling me. Because I'm telling you, like, I personally, I'm there maybe 2 months out of a year, collectively.
When do you go? What time of the year?
May, June.
Oh, you go there at CMA Fest, huh?
That.
You get your cowboy boots? You got
spring.
Cowboy boots?
Yeah, of course I do.
Got a cowboy hat?
No.
You got the bolo tie?
No.
Oh, you got to get a bolo tie, bro.
No, I do not.
I had a bolo tie when I was 5. I wanted to be a cowboy so bad. I'd had the boots, have the hat on the playground, had the bolo tie. I was getting after it.
What happened?
I don't know. I guess I got it. I used to live, so I grew up in Sweet Lips, Tennessee.
6,600
square feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small one.
A little guy, huh?
I mean, it's not that big. It's nice though.
Why don't we do it? What we were just saying. If I bring you somebody, I'll send it to you, and you tell me if you want to let it ride or not.
You mean rent it?
Yeah.
Well, what, you got a software to tell me what I would get for it per night?
Yeah, I'll run it through there. I'll put the pictures on all the platforms. If I bring somebody, I'll shoot you in a text. This is what it is. This is how much money you're gonna get. Do you wanna let it go? It's
set up for that. There's a little keypad to get in and out.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do? That I have vehicles there.
Oh, we got to worry about what was it, Lambos?
No, I have I'm about to send one of my cars down there, Lambo like. It's 296 GTS, but I have a Dodge TRX, which is a truck.
Yeah.
I have a Denali and a golf cart.
They in the garage?
Yeah.
Or just lock off the garage. Can't get in.
You make it sound easy, bro.
Is there any reason why we can't just lock the garage, throw this sucker on Airbnb today and get a booking?
No, there's no reason other than common sense tells me it can't be that easy.
It is that easy. People overthink it.
Then everyone would do it.
Not everybody has you. I'm just imagining what your place looks like. I'm sure it's
a nice house.
It's a badass house. Not everybody has that house. And especially in Brentwood. I mean, there might be some closer down in Nashville.
They're all over my neighborhood.
Well, not on Airbnb, not on as a short-term rental.
I don't think, like when people say, well, why don't you rent it? I say, I don't want anybody in my house. And most people probably think that way. But that's because I don't want anybody destroying my shit. If somebody said, no, dude, listen, I mean, you can set deposits and this and that, and anything gets ruined, they'll fix it and it doesn't really matter and everything will be perfect just like you left it. Well, then I probably would do it. I just don't want people in my house because they're going to destroy shit.
Gotcha. So most people have one house, and they lived in the house prior, and that's their that's the only house, their second house that they bought, or they only own 2 houses, and they have a deep attachment to it. So that's why whenever somebody comes in and they smoke in the house, they're like, oh my God, the house is ruined. It's like, no, just clear the shit out, fix it, be gone, and it's done. You know what I mean? But
I'm not attached to the house.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
What about tiny homes?
What about them? You
know those tiny homes you can buy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what stops me from just putting some tiny homes on a piece of land and Airbnb-ing them out?
You can.
If there's investors out there, what's the smartest move they can make in the Airbnb world?
If you're going to start a short-term rental, I'm not a fan. Like, again, it's all about barrier to entry, right? So if you go to Nashville and you want to get into a short-term rental, you're going to buy, let me back up. It's all about bedroom count. Bedroom count is what drives revenue. And you have to look at the bedroom count in every market. So 3 bedrooms might be enough in Madison, Wisconsin, but if you go to Nashville, there might be 5,000 3 bedrooms. So you don't want to be in that bedroom count. You want to be where everybody else isn't. Right? So then you have to look at the bedroom count, what all your competition is, and then that's the market you want to go into. So generally speaking, that's going to be the Midwest.
Is that where you are mainly?
Yeah.
So why'd you pick there? Just because the competition was lower?
No, I was just throwing darts at a board. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I started at all mine in the first year, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just like, let's go to Cincinnati. Let's go to Kansas City. Let's go to San Antonio. I had no idea. And I was just, literally just trying, and it worked out. But yeah.
Well, I would think short-term rentals have to work out unless, of course, you can't rent them. Because, dude, if someone's renting short-term, they're paying higher rents.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting, like I paid for that thing, I think it was a couple thousand, let's say, per night I think we were there 4 nights.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them $8,000. Well, dude, if people were in there at $2,000 a night for the entire month, that's 60 G's. The mortgage on it wasn't 60 G's.
No.
So they're making money now.
Yeah. Well, that's again, it just goes back to the bedroom count if you're blending in with everybody else. So if you're just like everybody else, just like the masses, you're not going to make any money.
Is it a bedroom count or a bed count?
Bedroom
So
count.
1 bedroom with 4 beds doesn't help?
No, it definitely helps, but it's not going to beat a 4 bedroom.
What do you mean?
A 4 bedroom?
Yeah, but you can put 4 beds in a bedroom.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Bedroom count will beat anything else. People want separation. They want their own space. People will come with couples. Everybody wants their own space.
Yeah, because that place in Gatlinburg, they had these like
bunk beds,
kid beds. Yeah. But they slept like 12
all in
one little area. It was a big room, but there's bunk beds everywhere, which is one of the things my kids wanted. Like they like bunk beds.
Yeah.
But so you're not talking to investors anyway. So that's more of an investor thing. The management of it, what you're looking for, if the bomb squad could help you, is number one, you're looking for people with Airbnb properties or properties that they're not Airbnb-ing to call you and let you manage it, or just send them more bookings.
Yeah. Let me list it on all the channels. Bookings come in. I'll have my team send it to you. You say yes or no. If you say yes, then you'll see what you're making. That's after we take out our fee.
And by the way, guys, if you're listening and you have property that you're not Airbnb and like me, like you almost got me convinced of doing it, reach out to JD Alexander 1 on Instagram, or just go to Travel with Traverse, Travers. Traverse, is that like a word play?
Yeah.
You're traversing around.
Yeah, traverse, to pass through, bro.
Yeah, Travel with Traverse. That's just not a word that I hear a lot.
There's a Traverse car.
Yeah,
those are kind of shitty though, but
Travel with Traverse. Is there a lead capture there where people can reach out to you?
Yeah. Or
Instagram at JD Alexander, just like it sounds, 1, the number 1, and make a deal if you have property. What if you already have Airbnbs? They're already managed. Why would I switch to you versus all the rest of them?
Why wouldn't you, Brad? I don't know. It's all about any company. I mean, who's going to put in the most effort, right? Who's going to stay in front of all the changes that are happening? The biggest difference with me is just I'm an investor myself. I have 22 of my own Airbnbs, so I tell people what I've done and changed, things I've tried out. Hey, this is working. This is what we're going to do with yours. This is what I think you should do with yours. These are the changes you need to make. And it's not just speculation. It's not like, hey, let's try this. It's stuff I actually did for my own.
Well, people that come on this show generally get business from it. Like, it blows my mind. I've had people on here where I'm thinking, When I first started the podcast, this guy came on and he was selling something for $100,000. And I'm like, dude, nobody listening's got 100 G's. Like, you know, it was blowing my mind. He called me shortly after it dropped and he said, dude, he did over $1 million in business. And I said, people called you and paid you $100,000. He's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck, dude. I didn't realize people listening had $100,000. So it always blows my mind. So you might get blown up with people with properties, you know. But I'm thinking, if I've already got Airbnbs and they're already managed, why would I call you? You said, why wouldn't you? That's not a good reason.
Well,
Give me a good reason.
Well, I just told you, because I'm an investor too, because I tell everybody what they got to change, right? So let's start with
how about because I'll get more money than I'm getting now.
Again, that comes with what I tell you to make the changes, right?
Yeah, but that's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yeah.
Because you're going to make more with me than you will with who's managing your shit. They probably don't have the right pictures up. They're probably not focused on the experience, the customer experience. They probably don't have it staged right, designed right, advertised right, promoted right. You know, come with me. Let me show you how you can double your bookings.
Yeah. Well, we also, because we're in so many markets across the U.S. that, you know, we have so many people that are always traveling, right? Like, hey, we just left Ohio. We're going to stop in Omaha tonight. So we always send, you know, email drip campaigns. Where are you going next? Can we get you booked somewhere else? So it's just.
What do you think? The U.S. is just filled with nomads?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have a big construction network. People traveling for work. And we got some guys saying from some union in Philly and Columbus are booking, I think, 3 of our properties there, and then they're going to be there for another 2 months, and they're wanting to go to somewhere in Indiana. I don't know, but we're going to try to get
Gary.
them. No, I ain't Gary.
You like Gary?
Oh yeah.
You've been to Gary, Indiana?
I used to live in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going. I interrupted you. People hate when I do that.
Yeah. Why do you like Gary? Where did that come from?
I just remember the name. I've never been there.
That's where Michael Jackson's from, right?
Wasn't John Cougar Mellencamp from there?
I thought it was Michael Jackson.
What hometown did Michael Jackson grow up in?
Michael Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that right.
Yeah, it's right next to East Chicago.
What about John Cougar Mellencamp? Where did John Cougar Mellencamp grow up in?
John Mellencamp was born in Seymour, Indiana.
This guy, you don't even know. You don't even know Gary, Indiana.
Where did John Cougar Mellencamp grow up?
John Mellencamp was born in Seymour, Indiana.
I didn't say born, bitch. Where did he grow up?
John Mellencamp was born in Seymour, Indiana.
Okay, Seymour, I guess. But I thought it was Gary. So who am I missing? The listeners that I'm missing. Who am I missing? Anybody? If you got properties you want them to be managed, call. If you have properties that are already being managed, call. If you want them managed better and make more money. And what's your 30-day? You said your 30-day guarantee?
Yeah, if we don't make you any money, you don't pay us anything. Yeah, so that goes back with our booking service. So if you have something and you don't want anybody to manage it, you still want to do everything, that's fine. Just still let me list it on a bunch of other sites and try to bring you stuff. So it doesn't cost you anything. If we don't get you any bookings, you don't have to pay us anything.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then folks, if you have properties you're afraid, apparently there's insurance. I didn't know that.
Why don't we do yours and you'll give me a testimonial after it goes well. We'll make you a quick 20, 30
Now,
grand.
what about when I'm there? Can I do my house here?
Oh yeah, let's do it. How many houses you got?
2.
Okay, let's buy a couple more. And
I am about to, but not that I would live in. Like these 2 houses I live in, I want to buy Airbnb vacation rentals.
Okay.
Meaning I'm only buying it to vacation in, and I want it for me. But when I'm not there, because I don't live on vacation, I want to Airbnb it permanently. Is there any spots that are more ideal for year-round rentals?
Yeah, just bigger cities. May think it's crazy. Baltimore, We have some places that do really well there. If you get a place that has really, honestly, if you're not in Florida, excluding Florida.
Why excluding Florida?
Well, what I'm about to say, if you have a place that has a pool, you're going to be able to outperform everybody, generally speaking. But everybody in Florida has a pool. So that's why I was saying excluding Florida. So wherever you go, if you get something that has an in-ground pool, you'll be able to do really, really well.
No liability for drownings or anything?
There's a lot of liability, but you got to make sure you got the right homeowner's insurance policy in place, right?
You make sure that happens?
For your homeowner's insurance, no. But we do take the precautions with the check-in details, make sure they sign the waivers, all that stuff for sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sounds like a crazy business.
Oh, it's wild. I'll tell you the craziest story.
Tell me.
You seen Walter White, Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
I had a girl doing a Breaking Bad. She was pulling a Walter White in Columbus. So she had great reviews. And this is why I don't like reviews anymore, because you can't tell. So she had like 12 5-star reviews, which is a really good track record.
As a host?
As a guest. So she booked the place. I stayed all weekend, didn't hear a peep. Everything was good. And then the cleaners show up and they call and she starts screaming, somebody's dead. They're dead. They're dead. We're like, what are you talking about? Like, somebody's dead. And then she ran outside. 2 minutes later, a guy runs outside. I know this story's probably deterring a lot of people from short-term rentals. But anyways, guy runs outside. They go inside and this girl's unconscious, and she has a black guy, and they call 911. Cops come, ambulance come, and I don't know if she lived or not. I never talked to the detective after that day, but apparently the girl that rented it, she was selling drugs out of it all weekend and had friends over or whatever. She left. They were there partying, doing whatever they were doing, got into a fight. Guy clocked the girl, knocked her out, ran out when our cleaners got there. And so she was pulling a Walter White. She was renting Airbnbs, selling drugs out of them, and just ditching them after that. I don't think it's going to happen to your Brentwood place. We won't have that worry, but that was just in Columbus.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't rent my shit out. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you doing what you do out there, freaking building the businesses, being an entrepreneur, generating revenue for the economy. Any question you have before we wrap this up?
Well, you want to list your house today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right.
Folks.
Is there any reason why you change your mind?
Yes. Yes. But I am going to actually consider it. We'll talk about it right after this. Folks, as always, until next time, keep it real.